Hello, and thank you so much for joining me again. Tonight I'm going to carry on with my series on when you only have half an hour. Tonight I thought I would focus on what you can do with that half an hour, not necessarily new techniques that you could learn, card making that you could do, but I thought it might be fun if we could go ahead and prep a gift and have a gift ready. So I went ahead and bought a bunch of these journals or notebooks. They were, I think, cheap if you bought 10 of them. So I bought 10 in bulk with the idea that I would use some vinyl and decorate the covers. But I thought actually this would be a great way to make up a nice, beautiful journal as a gift for someone. Use what you've got in your stash, kind of repurpose a few different things, and just have a good time with half an hour. So my camera cuts off at 24 minutes, which gives me a great idea as to how long I'm filming for. So this video actually took 32 minutes, although I did have to refill a glue bottle, so that probably took that extra 2 minutes. So this was a half an hour craft. I'm getting started with some of my scraps. I thought I would use up my scraps to do my cover. And that's what I originally thought. And then I quickly changed to this paper pad because I remembered it and saw it in my stash and thought it would be fantastic to go with this craft cardstock. This is a paper pad I got ages ago from the Works. They no longer sell it, so I apologize because it is a really nice one and I get a lot of questions about it whenever I use it. And I did buy about 8 packs of it because when I find something that I just love, I get a few. So I'm starting out by measuring my journal, and I want to kind of allow myself about a couple centimeter or two, or a quarter of an inch, kind of around the edge by the binding. We're going to add some more paper to that side, so I'm not too worried. But I wanted to give a nice tiny edge around my book as well. I didn't want to line that paper right up to the edge in case I cut it wrong or the book was a bit wonky. I've got these dies from Alina. I'll link them down below. They are actually slimline dies. So if you've got slimline dies, they will fit A5 books and A5, cards. So I'm going to go ahead and take that and use that as a beautiful edge for my journal. So this is where it's great to look in your stash, see what you've got, and repurpose those dies. So these are meant for slimline cards. You could take any kind of slimline card would fit on one of these covers. So it was really good. I was really impressed. It gives this beautiful decorative edge. If you've got a hole punch like this one where it's like an edge punch, you could go ahead and use that just to kind of give a little bit of decoration to that edge. I'm going to use my liquid glue to do the cover, and I am putting quite a bit on. I don't want it to peel off at all. I've got one of these weirdo makeup sponges. I don't know how you're supposed to use this on your face. I really don't honestly know what you're supposed to do with a plastic spatula for your face, but it works great for spreading glue and it wipes really easily. And I just picked this up off of AliExpress. I'm pretty sure you can get them in the pound shop, the dollar store. They're really cheap. If I can find this one, I'll link it down below for you. But it's literally silicone on the end. And that's all I'm doing to spread my glue around to get a nice even layer of glue. And again, I just looked around my room and I was like, I want to spread this. What can I use? And I saw that and I was like, oh, that's great. So I'm adding my glue onto my edge here. And then I'm going to put a little blob of glue on my paper and use my little spatula to kind of spread it over those little intricate bumpy bits. And then that way I've got glue all over that piece and I can just line it up and stick it straight down. And I love that. I love that we get this beautiful, cute little decorative edge. So I've done the back cover first. I'm going to go ahead and do the front cover. Sometimes it's nice to do the back first in case you muck up. It's not as big of a deal. I've got my scrap jar here, which is just a bunch of strips. I save all my strips and I keep them in this peanut butter jar on my desk and I reach for it all the time. The strips I'm going to use are these honey gold roses from Tonic. It's not my favorite color of gold. It's not my favorite kind of style, but I ended up with a pack of it and it works really, really well for this journal. So I'm adding that little strip just to kind of put a little bit more detail on that cover. So really simple, really quick, really easy. Now, I have no idea if these are available anymore. I bought them ages ago when I was really into making my handmade journals. They are all just quotes, really fun quotes, really nice ones. So I just have that whole stash in my craft room. So I pulled them out and I'm going to use my VersaFine Claire ink. And I measure my stamps so I know how big to cut my cardstock. So I've got a piece of vanilla cardstock there. I've cut it down to fit my stamp just perfectly. And then I'm using my stamp platform in case I make an error. I can then add in more ink and do it again. So I've got my sentiment all ready to go, or my little message, and I'm just going to round the corners to kind of give it a more finished look. The journal's got rounded corners, so I thought it'd be nice to have rounded corners on my little message on the front. And again, I'm using that rose gold paper to tie in with that little strip on the edge of my journal. So now I can go ahead and stick that on the front. You could add some foam if you wanted. You could stick some ribbon under it or wrap some ribbon around it. Just get creative with what you got in your stash. This is my bag of all things fun. That's a flower I actually made ages ago. And I just pulling out loads of different elements and just having a look and seeing if any of these will work on there. I love having 3D embellishments. All these flowers, the glitter butterflies, they're all from AliExpress. I love going on there and buying nice, cheap and cheerful embellishments to add onto my journals or my cards. I've got the mixed media glue in that little glue bottle. You'll see it here. It's just this Ranger multi-medium in the matte finish. And this is a little spatula that came with a hot glue gun set. So again, it's silicone. And I'm just applying the glue in a nice thick layer onto the back of the butterflies. The glue does squidge out, but you'll see in a second how I get rid of that. It dries clear and it dries matte, so you don't really need to worry if it does squidge out. It's not going to be too obvious. But I'm using the multi-medium glue so that it will adhere my paper and my fabric together. And that is my finished journal. So it was a really quick and easy way to make a beautiful gift for somebody and have it ready to give away when you see your friend or when you've got a birthday coming up. So I'm not sure who this is going to go to just yet, but it's done and it's ready, and it took me only half an hour and I had a great time doing it. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye for now.